None of us died. It's a low bar.
Nobody died. I think that was probably about as good as you could have hoped for.
Yeah.
The saving against the you being on fire was really big, because as soon as other people, like multiple people getting that, it's like, and you guys were all kind of standing in melee, it's like that could have started stacking real quick.
Yeah. That was big.
So, I like that. I mean, I realize it wasn't very long. It wasn't a very long fight, but I did like being able to do the negotiation using the same action economy as the fight. Like, it seemed like it went.
Yeah, that was good.
Relatively smoothly.
I gotta say, you were fortunate in that I had to send an action to do the reaction, and then I had to up my protection, and then
I was
move
really,
away.
I
so
was really
I had
happy.
no actions left to
really
actually
happy
attack
you
or do anything.
Yeah.
Were you thinking about it?
I was thinking about it, but I was like, well, no. Like, in this moment, Dolphor needs to get his protection up because that's his primary function. Obviously, I was down one action just to dodge the fire, and then I was like, yeah, now I need to move away so that I don't keep taking damage from Aurora.
Me also being on fire?
I was like, boy, am I glad that was my 3 actions. I didn't really have to think about anything. Because if we go another round, Dolphor's going to start messing up this negotiation pretty bad.
The only time I rolled well on anything was helping with the negotiation. Everything else was like...
Which, hey man, that's a good...
Will a 3 help?
Honestly,
yeah, that's a good thing to roll well on. I'm glad that somebody finally rolled well on the negotiation.
That was the first time I killed the negotiation. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It had to happen that time too, or we all probably would have died. So.
Okay, so we've got a couple of items of business. First is XP.
Oh yeah.
So it's 160. So what was, since we've got these shorter episodes, we're going to go by the max risk that people had during the episode. So what did everyone have? What was the max, the highest that you had?
Max would have been 2 after the fight.
Okay, so 2, 3, so 5, 1, 6. Okay, so divide by, okay, so we're going for 2. What's 160 times 1.4? 160... 60. Gosh dang it. 160.
224.
Okay, so you guys get 224. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to. So as you guys write that down, I wanted to talk about a few things. The first one is the dice mechanics. Like, are we still liking the D6? Or do we want to go back to the D20? How are people feeling about it? No, there wasn't as much rolling in that episode either. So,
I think it's for me. It kind of feels the same.
okay.
I just think that it's like you open most board games and a D6 is in it. Mm-hmm. So like it's a lot more accessible to have just an extra D6 lying around. But I really I did really like using I think I only ever used the custom D20.
D20s are just, the dice feel is better on a D20. Which is fair.
Yeah.
I guess, is that the biggest thing that you miss about it? Or
in the grand scheme of things, it feels very much the same for me.
Okay.
So I think the only difference is adding the whatever you rolled on the D6 to the roll, which I don't think really. either I was rolling so high that I was blowing the threshold out of the water anyway, or I was rolling so low that it wasn't going to get me anywhere near.
Okay.
I tend to only roll 1s and 6s, apparently.
It feels very swingy then?
Like, I feel like adding in the, like, whatever you rolled to the modifier doesn't make or break anything for me.
Okay.
Because it still feels pretty much the same.
Well, because so you're saying that, it seems like you either roll low where +1 doesn't really matter, or you're rolling really well on your d20s, +6 doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel like when you were rolling the d20 and not adding it, did it feel similar where like your numbers were really swingy, like either really low or really high? Like, how's the comparison between the d20 and the d6 there of like the spread of the numbers that you're seeing?
Like, I feel like with the d6, I've been rolling a lot of 1s and 6s. Where sometimes I roll a 1 and I get to roll d6s instead of d4s because of a bonus. But, like, with the d20, I was rolling mostly for d8s. Sometimes a little higher, sometimes lower, I feel like it tended to be a little bit more in the middle.
Okay.
And then it just depends on how I roll on those dice. But, I mean, you can still roll, like, I roll 3 dice for damage. I can still roll all 1s. And it did, like, I think it's kind of washed out a little bit.
Okay.
Where, like, yeah, it could go either way for me.
Okay. What about you guys?
I actually kind of like the fact that you're not just rolling a dice to determine other dice to roll, but that like you get to add on all the dice that you roll. I don't know that I like it enough to change the mechanic, but I do like that about rolling the d6.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, it's kind of the same for me, to be honest. Yeah.
I think I like the d6 better than the d20. It is a heck of a lot easier to figure out what dice you gotta roll with the d6.
Yeah, because you don't roll a custom die. You've been using the table for the d20.
Table.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that I've committed a lot of mental capacity to memorizing the table, but I don't have a table for the d6, so I've been able to do it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, that's true. That part is easier.
So that is easier. Yeah.
And that matters.
Yeah.
I think that matters to me more than the rolling dice just to figure out what kind of dice you roll.
Yeah.
I think the being able to figure out what kind of dice the second roll is, like the simplicity of that might be more important than the feedback of I'm just rolling dice to figure out what dice to roll.
Yeah. And the couple of people I've talked to about this, the ones that...
Yeah, we've talked about.
Yeah, they...
And I've heard it from a couple other people as well.
They like the D6 a little better, too.
Oh,
just
really?
for that reason.
Gotcha.
Makes more sense. It's just easier.
Okay.
So...
Okay. It seems like we're probably, like, net leaning towards keeping the D6.
Yeah.
Which, it makes sense for the reasons that it makes sense. As much as I wish, I like the consistency, like, of the mathematical, like, number spread better with the D20, but it's not a big enough difference that, that I'm unwilling to switch to the D6. And yeah, I really like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Of just being able to figure out what your result roll is going to be.
Yeah.
I think that's the bigger thing than anything else. Of not needing a table or a custom die.
Definitely.
Okay. How do you guys feel your number spread has been? Of like, do you guys feel like? I mean, you said that you're either rolling 1s or 6s. It seems like.
I feel like the dice are absolutely telling a compelling story over here in my nook of this table. Because like when I roll low, it's funny. When I roll high, it matters.
How do you guys? Do you guys feel like you've rolled like mostly really high, or has it been a good spread? Because I realized after last episode that I was like, man, it seems like everyone's rolling really high. But then I thought back and was like, oh, that's because I kept hearing like 50s and 60s because you guys were combining rolls. And so I was like, oh, I don't actually realize like what the individual rolls were. So do you guys feel like you've rolled lower or higher, still kind of in the middle? Or has it been a widespread?
I've had a spread, personally.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this specific session I was a little higher, but it hasn't always been that way, so.
You also finally rolled well on your D6 negotiation dice.
Thank you.
Yay!
I know, I'm so excited.
This negotiation might have mattered a little more.
If you were going to do well on one negotiation, this was the one.
Compelling story being told.
This was the one.
Yeah, so that's good. I'm glad that you finally did, because you were like, I'm trying to negotiate, and then you kept rolling like garbage, and I was like, no.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
Yeah, no, this was the good one. This was a good one to do well.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one to do well.
I was so nervous that I was going to roll all ones and not help.
I was nervous because I wasn't going to help.
Because I was not helping.
You're like, that difficulty threshold is not getting any lower for me. I was glad with how it played out, though, because I was like, man, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I don't know how this is gonna go with Dolphor. Like, I know some, behind the scenes stuff. I was like, but man, I don't know exactly how this is gonna play out, because it could go poorly. Like, there was a reality where it went poorly. But
yeah, Dolphor. That might have been the end of Dolphor's story right there.
Yeah.
You both would have made it out, but Dolphor would have been, I guess, melted biomatter, and
yeah.
No,
I wasn't leaving there.
I had a bunch of ideas, frankly, like what could they say to me that would get Dolphor to back down. So I had a couple of key ideas, and one of them was like, we delivered a message, and that's all we had to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, good, you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, done. I was like, wow, thank goodness.
I can't believe that worked.
He didn't command us to kill Tyven, so.
That's true. He didn't say when. He just said deliver a message.
I had choice words prepared for you.
It was like me.
I was just like, okay, you're planning to switch sides, maybe, and I've gotta.
Just kind of, these guys.
I have new friends now.
I have better friends.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make you feel bad about it, but okay.
No, never.
You didn't even give me 5 minutes to keep your secret before you're trying to kill me off. Awesome.
That's true.
Actually, about that, loose end.
No one should know this.
Okay, so next thing I want to talk about, so kind of in between this episode and the last time we played, we had an off-mic discussion about how sometimes the mechanics don't quite line up narratively. The one that I was thinking about was the health pools. Main example being like Six cutting off his tattoo and taking away from his primary health, which was mental health.
Physical is actually my primary.
Oh, physical is your primary? Oh, I thought it was mental. Okay. Nevertheless, there could be a situation.
But there could be a situation.
Yeah, it would be very easy for there to be a situation like that. So he's
For
also
instance,
physically...
I just got hit with a flamethrower and took mental damage.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's a better example then. And then we kind of mentioned, it's like, could the GM just kind of decide to make it come out of a certain health? And it's kind of like, yeah, but I feel like it's kind of a gateway to everything dealing damage to specific healths.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about, instead of like the ability itself dealing damage to a specific health, there being like conditions that can deal damage to specific healths? So instead of it being like an ability of like, oh, this ability attacks, physical health, because that seems like that could get very messy very quickly. It's like, this ability dealt con damage, however, there's a side effect of a condition that could deal damage specifically to physical health. I feel like that. Does that make sense?
So would you have conditions that would deal damage potentially to social and spiritual as well?
I don't know if in combat. I do have something else that I'm going to bring up right after this, though, that is related to that.
I was very vocal about not wanting to combine the pool.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like having conditions that would deal, especially because, like, you don't know how someone's going to flavor the con attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it, like, I could flavor it like I'm giving you psychic damage,
mm-hmm.
and then you'd be like, oh, and it goes to your physical. But the conditions, because of how they're worded, it's easier to be like, well, this one definitely goes with, like, matches.
Yeah, the conditions, it seems like it would jive with the rules a little bit better. Because the idea behind the split healths was, there are more stopping points. But also it's like, if you're a person that tends to rely on your physical ability first, it's like, then, as you're fighting, it's like you're relying on your physical capabilities. It's like, however, once your physical capability is exhausted, now you're having to rely on things that you don't even normally rely on. But it does get us into the situation that we're talking about. So the conditions seemed like it might, allow for kind of specifically targeting things that make sense narratively, without, because also behind the screen in the stat blocks, like, that the GM has, it's like, that means that there's a condition instead of, oh, this ability deals mental damage, or this ability deals physical damage, which was a thing that we kind of nixed, before we even started recording things, because it was weird. It didn't flow very well.
Because I know that, like, there was kind of a plan of, if you got to 0 in one of the healths, then you had, like there were consequences to that. And I wonder if doing this instead, it would be like, well, you have a condition that's going to keep causing you mental damage, regardless of the fact you're at 0, you're going to keep taking risk because you have this condition.
So I think that it might be a both thing.
Okay.
Because I think there should still be consequences for, especially with the split healths. It's like having consequences for being 0 at one of your, either your physical or mental health. It's like, okay, your physical health is at 0, so now you're rolling fewer dice on your physical rolls, which could also introduce interesting, like, strategic gameplay options of, it's like, okay, now I'm attacking with my mental health instead of I'm making a mental con attack instead of a physical con attack, because even though I'm not proficient in a mental con attack, I at least get to roll both dice, kind of thing. So there could actually be a little strategy there. But then there could be these conditions as well where it's like, the easiest answer is you took mental damage while you're at 0, so you're taking extra risk or something like that. I think that's the easiest answer. I don't know what you guys...
I'm just remembering an early playtest where we all had multiple conditions at the same time, and it was so hard.
That one was crazy. You guys had, like, immobile 9 and all that. It was the purpose was, can you still do things even with all of these crazy conditions? Like, you have 4 different conditions that are all at like stage 9 or something. Like, what can you still do things? And the answer was yes.
Being in the room, you got like 4 more rounds added to one of the conditions, and it was just insane.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't know, Mike. Does that having having conditions that specifically target something, does it?
It definitely makes more sense for the conditions to do it because they're just worded a bit more specifically. Than, whereas I think if you start doing like trying to word attacks as going to a specific health, then you start, I think, limiting some of the creativity and stuff that you're allowed in the flavor. Because then you really do have to define specific attacks. And I think of like, D&D kind of does this in a way of like, I know you have all different types of damage and stuff in D&D, but like some of the spells will target a specific stat basically to try and avoid the effect, right? And so obviously different classes have better stats in different ways, and I just don't think bullet point really fits that the same way at all. Just the way you build characters and stuff, so it makes sense.
I mean, also Risk kind of does that on its own,
right?
Of like, you're reducing your total health just from taking risk.
So I think if you're gonna if you want to do that, then to do the conditions is your best option for the way bullet point is kind of grown into.
That makes sense. Yeah. So like for like for 6, where it's like, I just sliced off part of my arm. It's like, great, roll damage. And because there could have been the situation where your mental health was your primary health. So, theoretical thing. It's like, great, roll con damage against yourself. However, you're also going to take this condition that you're taking physical damage regardless of...
Yeah, like a bleed condition.
Yeah, like a bleed thing.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. And anybody have anything else? Any good ideas for that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, okay, I did want to talk about the negotiation. First of all, how did the negotiation feel? Did it feel like you were kind of gambling your dice almost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't
how many dice you were putting
for
in
him. So I knew I only had 11 dice. And so that last roll where I rolled 5, those were the only 5 I had left. So
I guess
I only had 7. I used 4 and rolled the DC for myself, the threshold, and I had to contribute. And I was terrified.
yeah, it's a lot more risk. It was fun, but I was a little nervous, especially given my track record.
Yeah, your track record is not great. It seems like, I guess my question is quote unquote behavior down an appropriate side effect of using the negotiation dice from your con pool? Because we also don't, in earlier revisions we had like a primary and secondary credibility health, just like primary and secondary constitution health, but then we changed the negotiation mechanics, and so now there's not really a real purpose for the primary and secondary.
Yeah.
So is making someone's behavior worse an appropriate side effect, or would taking social or spiritual damage to your make more sense of like affecting either your reputation or yourself for using your the negotiation dice from your con pool?
So if you're taking social... I'm sorry, what are the consequences of taking social damage? Or spiritual, if taking...
If they hit 0, you have similar consequences to, you start rolling fewer dice for any checks that involve that. There's some potential for using it as kind of almost like a reputation mechanic, but that's a little undeveloped as of right now. But because I was thinking about it, because I'm not even 100% sure that negotiation is the right term.
Yeah.
Because if the behind the scenes behavior mechanics, the purpose of the negotiate is to create a tiered outcome for a more like social situation, right? Instead of getting a yes or no, it's like, great, there are tiers that we can go through. But that doesn't mean that there's necessarily an exchange of anything. Like in this, in your guys' negotiation with Tyven, it's, you weren't even really trying, like you were trying to get something from him, but there wasn't like, any items or anything that you're trying to exchange. So you were almost kind of negotiating over his behavior already. And so I'm just wondering where...
First the negotiation.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to figure out where... Because there are behind-the-scenes behavior mechanics, but I'm wondering if it should be that way. There's kind of a gray area there that I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, so right now if you use one of your con healths to negotiate, that's an automatic decrease in behavior, right?
Yeah, and so you the behaviors that are options are like positive, neutral, negative, non-lethal violence, and lethal violence. And you can interpret those kind of in different ways, hide, flee, or anything like that. But I think that the behavior mechanics might be more guidelines than rules, because people are complicated, so it's hard to make strict rules for how everyone acts. That's just not kind of how things work. And so if the negotiation, or if the consequence for using your con pool were to change, then that could probably merge a little bit more. And it would also open up the potential for using your con pool, because nobody's used it so far, because it's like, well, I don't want to use it, so it's almost an unused mechanic.
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys on the scale got to yes, but there's 2 more levels beyond
It's
that.
the highest we've gotten.
Yeah, that is the highest you've gotten, and you guys both burned basically your entire
Mental dice.
Yeah, you guys burned all your credibility dice, and so if you wanted to get to something higher, it's like you would have had to dip into your con pool.
Yeah.
And I think which isn't a bad thing, but the consequence seems not necessarily on the same path as a lot of other things.
And I think if you are trying to make the game a little more lifelike, or like realistic, right? I think it would make sense that different characters would respond to using Constitution dice differently, right? And that could be baked into who they are, like who that enemy is, right? Because a cowardly person at heart, when you use a Constitution negotiation, is going to back down. Whereas someone like Tyven probably would have stepped up and maybe gone down a tier.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that the motivation, or like discovering a motivation, would show. Where you say, look, this guy's only in it for the money. If you threaten him, he's going to back down. I don't know. That makes it a little more complicated, but that would be more realistic.
Yeah, I think that the behavior, the options of behavior, I think instead of being hard and fast rules, even how it currently is, it's gonna be like, hey, these are some recommendations and guidelines, you know, but people are gonna act differently, kind of thing. But right now, the consequence for using your con pool for negotiation doesn't reflect that flexibility.
Yeah.
So that seems... So I don't know if the answer is to, you know, make the consequence taking social or spiritual damage, or if it's something else. But I don't think that where it's at now is where it should end up.
It's a little tough because I really don't think any of our negotiation situations have really warranted using the con dice at all. I mean, like the first one you did with the scrappers, you might have actually beat one up to get them to back off, show like a display of strength of some kind. But you were pressed for time, so you took one shot and okay, I gotta go.
It's like I am running out of time.
So I mean, there is a little bit of just lack of data.
That's also true. There's a lot of that going on.
That out. Yeah, right. Yeah. We just need to see a little bit more.
That's probably a good idea, actually.
Just see a little more and see what happens when we actually do dip into that con. We actually see consequences.
That's why it didn't help with the second negotiation, was because I knew I only had 3 credibility dice left. If we need to make another push, my dice are going to matter, and I can't waste them now.
So maybe just wait for a little more data. Put that one on the shelf. That makes sense. Okay, so we'll come back to that one after we try it a little bit more. Another thing.
Before we move
oh,
on,
sorry.
Just my last thought. I feel like there's still probably more to develop there. I'm just not entirely sure what that development is until we get more data.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I get why it's trickling around in your head.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I get it.
That makes sense.
I just don't know quite what the answer is yet. We just
haven't
seen.
As we get more information, then the problems will start to reveal themselves, and hopefully the solutions will as well.
Yeah.
Sort of how this whole process has gone is let's work on a couple things, and then once those are solid, we move on to the next things, and more things reveal themselves as problems the farther we get.
Yeah, I do see where your brain's going.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't know what to say yet.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Hey, that's how it goes. Okay, another thing in regards to combat are healing abilities too weak? Because your healing will get better over time as abilities and modifiers increase, but right now the talent for the healing tree is you get to add your modifier. It's should that just be the standard, you get to add your modifier, and then similar to the damage tree, it's should you get to add more dice? Because healing seems underwhelming, and in a lot of games that's by design, because because healing is a resource that you have to manage, right? But this isn't a heavy resource management game. It's if you end an event at full health, it's it really matters less because you're still taking risk. It's so even if nothing happened, and so it seems like it might it might be beneficial to make healing a little bit more worth it.
Yeah, it was I took this much damage. I took 12 damage, and then I took another 12 damage, and then I healed myself for 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's okay to heal. In bullet point, it is okay to heal yourself for more damage than one attack, than the attack that you just took. That's an okay situation.
Yeah.
Whereas in many games, it's designed that healing is weaker, because that's a resource that you have to manage.
Yeah. And the other thing that I would make sure that we are careful of with that is that we do have 3 actions. And so it's a less to heal, but we can do it more if we have to. I know that takes away from other things, but you don't want to make healing so overpowered that I heal everyone back up to full health every turn, you know?
Well, and that also kind of feeds into the having 2 health pools, though.
Yeah.
It's like, especially if you're trying to AoE, heal everybody. I know that's not an ability that you have yet.
Yeah.
But like if you're trying to AoE heal everybody, you only get to pick physical or mental for everybody at the same time, and so then you also have to manage like who needs mental, who needs physical,
right?
That kind of thing.
So wait, what's the talent for heal? Is that your
you
primary?
get to add your modifier to the result.
Yeah.
No, I think I do like having it be like the damage talent of having an extra die.
It definitely would make it more useful for me, like as a healer, making that my primary. I would be more helpful to people.
Yeah, because it seems like it's only helpful to go into the healing tree if you take it as your first ability.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise, like your first ability is like you heal 2d6, and that's the entire thing. It's like great, you're gonna average 7.
I sure did.
Like that's the average. It's like you don't even get to add anything, and it seems a little underwhelming.
Well, and when I healed myself, I rolled 2d8s because I've upgraded it. So it's usually 2d6s, but I rolled 2d8s, and I rolled an 8 and a 7, and I still only healed 20 damage.
Yeah,
and that was like the best roll.
And with the d6 mechanics, it's not that hard to roll 20. Because the numbers are also bigger with the d6. Like it does skew a little bit more towards the higher numbers, not by a drastic amount, but it does skew towards higher numbers. So especially if the healing stays the same, like it's going to be functionally garbage.
Because I know with damage, like for the abilities, I still only get to roll 2 dice. It's just when I do the regular con attack that I get 3. But I think for the healing tree, I think if you have that talent, I think
you get to roll an extra dice.
I think that talent should be reflected in a little bit.
So do you think for all healing or just single target healing?
See, I don't know because I haven't used any AoE.
Yeah, we haven't opened up that can of worms
And there's
yet.
there's also something to say that like there will be rolls where the modifier would have been higher than what you rolled on this extra dice.
There is a reason that a lot of role-playing games, you add your modifier to abilities. So there's a reason for that, and that's not reflected in the healing right now.
But yeah, I think especially because like we just had a couple, like you've had two fights with the scrappers where you have multiple attacks and you're only able to heal a little bit.
Yeah, well, and the one with the robot, I was only able to give us back like 7 damage, so we wouldn't have to take another risk level.
Yeah,
with the healing,
so
it wasn't doing anything for us. It was just keeping us above water.
Just because I know that, like...
And the only reason it was above water is because of how the risk mechanics work.
Yeah.
Is that there's a stopping point.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's so much potential for damage that having an extra dice for every healing ability would still not mitigate it enough that I would feel like it's not... Like, it's taken away from the game.
You got it.
I'm just thinking the AoE question.
Yeah, the AoE question, like definitely for single target healing for sure.
Yeah.
The AoE, I think it's another. We don't have enough data.
Yeah,
We just have to see.
Yeah.
Although arguably, like single target healing should be like a higher number than
Should be more
and then AoE because like the power of AoE is you're
Yeah.
multiple targets.
Yeah.
Right.
To
So that's
divide it
almost
out
like
amongst
every game I've ever played, you know.
The benefit to AoE healing is that it's AoE healing.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think there is something to say of like even if it still applies to AoE healing, by the time you have enough XP to earn that, the enemies we're fighting are causing us way more damage. So
Potentially.
I think yeah.
It could also be one of the things, because we haven't introduced items yet, but it could also be an item thing where it's like, you know, like a high level item where you get to, normally you can only add your third dice on single target healing. Here's a cool, quote unquote magic item or something where, guess what, you get to add another, now you get to add 3 dice to all healing. So that could, we haven't introduced items yet. But.
Yeah. Or maybe you could add your
medic pack item
modifier to AoE. The healer could add his modifier to AoE. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another question, is should the modifier be added to AoE as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then the other way you could do too would be to limit the amount of AoE or something. Like have it be a premier skill tree and you only get like 3 uses per combat or whatever you want to make it. Something like that.
Yeah.
Or
we
you
just
might
don't have enough info yet.
Yeah, just have enough info.
I'm actually trying to save up for one, so I'm hoping that's my next purchase, but it is kind of expensive.
Yeah, they're like, what, 700?
They're 700. So by end of next session, I should have enough, assuming I don't die.
I'm saving up for something that needs to make narrative sense. So I've got it and more, but I need a contact to come through.
Okay. Do we want to make that change for 3 dice for at least single target healing right now?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
I'll write that down right now.
Yeah, so that means that also, because you've got a secondary ability, right, of healing.
Yeah.
So that means that you'll get to start adding your modifier to your healer.
I thought it was just for the talent.
I thought it was just for the starter.
Well, no, because right now, but we're making the change.
Oh, the modifier. So
for the modifier always gets added. The talent is 3 dice.
It's 3 dice.
That's the change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for whatever skill I picked for.
Yeah, it's the options are spiritual or mental.
That would change things. Okay. That's something to do.
Yeah, and you just have to pick whichever one.
Excuse me.
Excused.
Yeah, that's good. Let's try that.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think that adding more dice to healing is game breaking at all. I think it'll make healing feel a lot better, because especially for like Dalfor, it's like Dalfor is the most support character that you can get, right? Like he's the tank, and he and he took boost. Like you took protector and boost. It's like that's the most support thing that you can possibly do. But that gives you the feel of being like, does Dalfor feel like a support character to you? Like,
yeah.
He's nodding.
Yeah. No, my last thought in Middle Combat is attack. I want to make sure my tank ability is always up. And then I'm usually looking to boost someone to do damage or something, or possibly heal if that's what's needed.
because that's
maybe if I have spare action, I'll think, okay, now I'll take out my gun and shoot or something.
Yeah, because that's one of the goals here is like, does the support character feel like a support character, and is that fun? It's like, does the damage character feel like a damage character? Is that fun? It's like, it does. Right now it seems like does the healer feel like a healer? And the answer, it seems, at least numerically, is like kind of.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in some of the other battles, I'm like, it's not even going to help. Like, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. So boosting healing seems seems beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we'll move forward with that then. So for the heal ability, you can add your modifier, and then for single target heals, the talent is you can add an additional die.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, and I've got one more for tonight if you guys are good with that. I was trying to come up with a quote-unquote save DC number for players, because initially I was like, for if somebody, especially for like the break tree, it's like down, further down in the abilities, like you get the ability to inflict conditions on other people. It's like, great. Well, they should also get the chance to, use a reaction and roll against that. It's like, what number should they be rolling against? And initially, I was like, oh, well, your Constitution modifier, your Credibility modifier, and turns out at low levels that number's like 6, and which is almost negligible.
I did it.
Yeah, it's.
So we just roll 2d4.
So like in D&D, it's
See.
what is it? 8 plus your proficiency plus your.
Plus whatever your stat.
I rolled exactly a
modifier.
6.
Yeah.
6.
So maybe there's some 8 that bullet point has, whatever number that is, plus whatever modifier.
The other number that I was thinking of was just the total modifier of the modifier of all of your things, because that means that at start, if we stick with the D6 mechanics and the healths where they're at, that means the starting number would be 14, which numerically is average. Like, that is an average roll. It's like mathematically 14.5 is like the median number.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then also, because I was looking at it, it's like, even if you were to max out every single health boost purchase, which would be absolutely an insane amount of XP, if you were to max it out, the final number would be 46, which is the max that you can roll without adding modifiers on the D6 mechanics.
Yeah.
Sounds
So it's
like we have a plan.
So like
Yeah, sounds
even,
like that's an answer,
so like even if you bought 3 health boosts or something, it's like you started at 14, you bought 3, it's like your number is now 26, which is not a super unreasonable number for someone who is maybe proficient at it or anything like that. So that seemed like a good plan.
Yeah.
It hasn't really come up yet, but it could easily come up at some point. So if that seems like a good number, then we'll stick with that.
Sure.
I'll have to add it to the character sheet. I'll add it to the draft 10 because that hasn't come out yet.
There's a space in between the mental modifier and the social health that could be
right
like
in the middle,
your total.
Yeah, there's a couple things that could go there. So that was one thing, and it might be both. I was thinking of on the character sheet swapping the where source and willpower are, and then creating a space where you could either write or type in what source is for the setting.
Yeah.
Like we're calling it hacking. So swapping it and then putting right underneath, it's like, this is what source is in this setting for hacking. But I think there might actually still be enough room there that you could put in a total modifier as a quote-unquote save DC.
Or even under credibility health, like next to spiritual. Something like that.
Oh yeah, that's another. Yeah, you can stick it there too. There's a couple spots. Okay. So the number makes the total modifier makes sense though as a.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, and then we'll figure out where to put that on the character sheet. So as far as draft 10, I didn't want to put the finishing touches on it really until we decided on the dice mechanics. Do we want to try another session with the dice mechanics, or do we want to call it?
Might as well do one more session.
Do one more session?
Just in case something comes up. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with calling it, but
Yeah. Either way, whatever.
Freeze the charm.
Yeah, there would be 3
Okay.
sessions with the new one, so.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one more session, and then if we're still, if nothing changes, then I'll put some touches on the draft 10, and we can work off of that
I like
one.
it.
Okay, cool.
I haven't opened the folder yet.
Editor hasn't looked at it. Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about, either mechanics wise or stuff from the session?
I don't think so. No.
You guys excited for next time walking into
No.
walking into the lion's
I
den?
have plans. I have ideas. I have
plans.
thoughts.
Oh man,
Of course I do.
that makes one of us.
Good, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what is gonna happen.
I could see out in the fields, you could talk all 4 out of stuff. I don't know what you can do when we're in there with Oculus.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm worried about.
And that's where my plans come in, and y'all should tune in next time.
Okay. All right, sounds good. We'll move forward then.
Alright.
Sounds good. All right, good night, everybody.
Right.